Hello, and welcome back. So, if you follow the news, if you listen to the general gossip, there seems to be a lot going on in the world right now. I forgot to fix my beard this morning. It might look all... So, I figured I would record this video while I engrave one of these here. Here, let me do this for you. So we spend a lot of time nowadays looking at the news, talking about the things that we like or we don't like, talking about what people should or shouldn't do. We spend a lot of our time in this fear-based mentality where if I don't do this, this will happen. So when you spend most of your life in that type of fear, or a part of your life in that type of fear, what happens is you lose the ability to think clearly. We make quick, snap judgments, decisions, and oftentimes we don't think through because we use the understanding of the consequences from that fear as our driving force. So we're too afraid to think for ourselves. So instead, we will follow the general information about what to do given to us by specialists. And today, with the way we live our lives, we live in a very fragmented way. In society, I'm speaking in general. So, one doctor will be for your eyes. You'll have a specialist like myself that was for exercise, manipulating and controlling your body weight, your body mass. Personal trainer. You have someone that builds houses. You have another person that designs the structure of the house but doesn't do any of the building. So what happens is, as we live in today's society in this very separate, compartmentalized, hopefully I said that right, little entities. So these people are specialists in what's going on over here, but they don't really have a lot of information about what's going on around them, just in their little niche. And when it comes to things that are fear-based, that can generate a sense of fear inside of you, and when it comes to those sort of things, if all you know is what's in your speciality, then a lot of the things out here have the potential to create fear for you. Or, more correctly, you'll be fearful of what you don't know, which is very common. It's a very normal thing to feel, being afraid of the unknown. It's very common. So, hopefully, as we grow and mature, that we're not only remaining in this sphere, this limited bubble of expertise, but we can also expand our horizons so that we understand more of the world and the things and the decisions that are made around us, so that we're not struck by fear because we have a better understanding instead. Because fear can make you act unconsciously, can make you make and do decisions that you wouldn't normally do if you had all of the information about said thing that makes you afraid. For example, you walk into a room, and let's say it's the first time you've been in this house. Because you don't know anything about this house, you might walk in a bit apprehensive. Already, you're a bit fearful. So your perception of things are going to be different. Let's say this house is dark now. You walk in and there's a coat hanging on a coat rack. And in the light, moonlight that comes in, it makes a slight reflection against the wall, and it seems as though someone is standing there. And for a minute, you feel fully the fear of someone that you didn't expect to be there watching you. When you realize that person is not there, but it's only a trick of your mind that is generated by fear. Once you realize that, then you see things clearly. And with a lot of the changes going on around the world, and we are getting our information by these specialists, we forget that we are not confined to our own unique speciality in life and the things that we do, our living, the things we do for our living. So when this thing sweeps over the world, and a lot of people don't understand it, they look to the specialists who supposedly understand it to inform them and to guide them about the right decisions to make. Because they're fearful, they look up to specialists instead of looking into it themselves. I'm not saying you're going to know more than a specialist or even have better information, but the point is to inform yourself so that the fear around the situation disappears or lessens to some degree. In some cases it might strengthen, depending on the situation, but then you're seeing things as they are. And that's the point I'm making in this video, is to help you see things as they are and not as you fear them to be, or as others would like them to be, or any combination of words you can add here that mean an illusion, not quite the truth. We may feel as though we are not intelligent enough to understand these things in the same way that these specialists do. Therefore, we may abandon our own intelligence and look up to specialists as almost a godly figure. Please tell me what to do. In the same way you would look up to a priest when you're on your deathbed and you're not sure about the afterlife. You may seek the guidance of a priest. Well, in this situation, we seek the guidance of specialists. You may have noticed that we've gone through, are still going through, quite a change on Earth in the way that we interact with people. But we've gone through a even more radical shift that many of us might not have even realized, because they were too distracted by the noise the world is creating now. The world is so noisy that you cannot hear your own voice, that you cannot see, feel, perceive with enough clarity. The distractions are so loud that you can't give yourself enough permission to look away from them long enough to see that inside of you you've changed. That there's something inside that's growing. Just like a tree in the sun with the right amount of water, there's something coming forth in the world now. We are more aware. We are becoming more conscious. We are waking up. And part of this is recognizing that our intelligence is not something that some people have more than others, and that our intelligence is just as good as a specialist's intelligence. The only difference may be the availability of information in their immediate surroundings and with the people that they may know. So they may be able to gather information quicker because they have, if you will, they're in the loop. But as far as intelligence is concerned, we, you, me, anybody else is just as intelligent as another human being. In a sense, we are the embodiment of intelligence itself. The ability of us to just simply be able to make a decision, to look at something and to decide one way or the other. Not the decision, but just the simple ability to be able to do so is intelligence. And that is your essence of who you are. Conscious awareness. And this conscious awareness is intelligence. So we don't need to look up to anyone in order to get the right information. We can learn to trust ourselves. And that's a big one here today. Learning to trust yourself. To look beyond belief. To ask yourself, do I believe this or do I know this? Have I looked for myself? Because I am intelligent. I have the intelligence to find out if I want. And the only thing that's stopping us from finding that information, which would bust the fear bubble, is we are also stuck in our little specialist bubble in this world. So we have this life that we have created for ourselves, and we have friends in this life, we have houses, we have cars, we have bills, we have our likes, we have our dislikes, there's your work, and there's all these different aspects that together create your life. But the problem is that most people, when they come into the world, as they become an adult, create a bubble. This tight bubble where they don't want to venture out. And it seems the older they get, the more they grow up, the more tightly compound this bubble is. This is a bubble of your belief systems. This is a bubble of what you think life should be. And we need to venture beyond our bubble. As a matter of fact, we need to stop creating that bubble in the first place. When we live like this, we are open to change. We are open to our own power, our own ability to take our lives into our own hands. And when we do so, it's not so rigid, it's not so tight. It flows, it's open, it holds us securely, yet doesn't confine us. So we need to learn to live openly. I'll leave you with that. That's something that you'll need to figure out on your own. We all do. So wherever you are around the world, whatever time it is that you're watching this video, thank you, thank you, thank you. Peace.